I attended Terrificon this past weekend and I want to tell you all about it and show you some of the comic books that I picked up. What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin Vidinia over at Superpower Review. Welcome back to the channel, guys. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the comic books I picked up over at Terrificon and some pretty cool stories as well. I had an absolute blast attending this con. I got to meet so many people from the YouTube comic community. It was just so cool to see these people in person and hang out with them. So Terrificon, okay, so let's go back here. Let's rewind, okay? I haven't attended a Comic-Con since 2019 because of the pandemic. Didn't feel comfortable going to Comic-Cons for a little bit, and then after a while not going to Comic-Cons, I kind of realized that it was better for me not to attend them because I was a little more focused onto what I wanted to purchase for the year, and last year I just spent way too much money on comic books, which is why I didn't go. So I was really happy to go. I have so many great books here that I want to show you guys. But first of all, this con has grown so much. The first time I went to this Terrificon was 2018, and the amount of people that were there has quadrupled. The amount of vendors, it was a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. There were so many vendors there, and when I say this is a Comic-Con, a lot of these cons have changed. They've become more of a pop culture con. And so when I mean that Terrificon is a Comic-Con, it legitimately is. There are comic vendors up the wazoo. There are so many comic book creators, artists, writers. It is really a Comic-Con, so it's a traditional con. So with that being said, let me show you guys some of the things that I picked up. So I went there with very low expectations. I went there, with a budget, a very small budget, so I had to really be picking and choosing in what I was picking up, and very, very selective. But like I said, I had no expectations. I had one goal, and that one goal was to go meet Mark Bagley and get books signed. So let me show you guys some of the books that I got signed by Mark Bagley first, and then I'll show you the other pickups. So these three books I ended up bringing to the con, except for one. I will show this one first. So this one's a really cool story. So I already had this book in the collection. This is an Amazing Spider-Man number 410. This is the first appearance of Spider-Carnage. Now, I had this book with me, okay, so this is not the same copy that I brought with me. I had a much lower grade copy. The comic book had a huge handprint on the comic book. And so when I was going through some of these vendors, one of them happened to have this copy here that is absolutely near mint. This is absolutely a 9.8 candidate right here. This book is mint, okay? So he had a couple of other books that I picked up from this vendor, and I'll be showing you guys those really soon. So I said, hey man, listen, you have a book that I have in my backpack. If you're interested, I would like you to take a look at it. If this is something that you would want, I would like to maybe trade it with your near mint copy, and I'll be more than happy to pay the difference. He took a quick look at it. He saw the handprint on it. He goes, you know what, dude? I don't really care. just grab the book and give me 25 bucks. And I said, sold. That ended up going more perfect than it should. So I was expecting to get my low grade copy signed, but ended up walking away with a near mint copy. Love this book. As much as I hate the Clone Saga of Spider-Man, we all hate it as fans. This storyline is muddied, but this issue is really cool. We get to see Ben Reilly done on the Carnage symbiote. So really, really happy with this one. This one's got the clear back. This is something that might be starting a new obsession. So it has a backboard, but it's a clear backboard. That is something that that's very intriguing. Might make me want to start collecting more clear backs. So other books that I had Mark Bagley sign was this Carnage Forever number 1. And let me also tell you guys how hilarious Mark Bagley is. This is the second time I met Mark Bagley. The first time I met him, I didn't have stuff for him to sign at the moment. I just kind of stopped by his table and introduced myself and kind of wanted to talk to him a little bit. But this dude is hilarious. He was at his table signing comic books, cracking jokes, making fun of his fans in a very fun way. And he was also drinking beers behind his table. Gotta give him some respect though. He had the beers on the floor, so he didn't have them on the table next to people's comic books, so he was like picking up from the floors, taking swigs. It was great. I was like, dude, this guy is my hero. So I gave him this Carnage Forever #1. I kind of told him what colors I was looking for to sign these specific books and what placement. I told him I wanted it in red and put on the Eye of Carnage, and I thought that was perfect placement right there, and he knocked it out of the park. Love this cover. This one is probably one of my favorites, and that I got signed by Bagley that day. And another one that I got signed by Mark Bagley was this Venom Number 6, which is the Bagley variant, and so I had to get that signed as well. Another really cool comic book cover. So really happy that I got to see Mark Bagley. He was doing signing. He only did 2 signings in that day within an 8-hour period. So he did 1 to 2 and from 4 to 5. And I'm really happy that I got to see him. I almost thought I wasn't going to make it because there was just so much stuff to see at the con. Like I said, I was so overwhelmed with so much stuff that was going on, and I was losing track of time. By the time I saw him, it was 4:30. I haven't eaten since breakfast, which was like 8 o'clock, and I was fading, man. I was like really starting to get loopy and tired, and I was waiting for his signatures to dry on his table, so I was there for a couple of minutes, and like I said, I haven't eaten, so I'm kind of like, I'm starstruck. I just met Mark Bagley. My hands are starting to shake. I'm trying to put my comic books very carefully back in their bags. And he's like, hey man, you're still here? I'm going to start charging you for staying on this table for too long. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. But he was really cool. So those are the books that I got signed by Mark Bagley. And let me show you guys some of the books that I ended up picking up at the con. Like I said, very low expectations. Didn't go there with any sort of goals of what comic books I was picking up. If I found them, great. So here is a Spawn number 6 that I picked up for $5 at that vendor, the same vendor that gave me the ASM 410. So a whopping $5. Spawn number 6, still trying to complete like a 1 through 10 issue series of Spawn with floppies. And this is the first appearance of Overkill. All right, and so lately I've been, for the past year or so, like I've been collecting Moon Knight and Daredevil very hard. Been diving really hard into it. I just recently picked up the Moon Knight Omnibus Volume 1 and 2. So I'm trying to pick up the floppies that I really enjoyed the stories for the collection. And so here is a Moon Knight number 13. And this is the first time Daredevil and Moon Knight meet up, and also a really cool cover. And here is another one, like I said, really diving in deep into Moon Knight and Daredevil lately. Here is an Amazing Spider-Man number 220. This is just a Moon Knight appearance in an Amazing Spider-Man title. And this is also a really cool Bob Layton cover. All right, so yet again, diving deep into Daredevil lately. This is a comic book that I've been on the hunt for a while. I'm going to take it out because I want to show you guys something. This is a Daredevil number 115. Okay, this is a comic book that I've been on the hunt for, and luckily this was the only one at the show. I was super pumped on finding it, and it was actually kind of cool that it was the only one, because then I wasn't driving myself crazy and buying this one and then possibly finding a better copy at a cheaper price. So this is the death of the Death Stalker. We all know how we feel about deaths in comic books. They're not really real. But this is the death of the Death Stalker, and a really cool thing about this comic book, if I can show you real quick. So this comic book does have the Marvel value stamp. Be on the lookout for it if you ever want to purchase this book. But a really cool thing about this comic book is that it has an insert for the Incredible Hulk 181, and it actually shows Wolverine in this comic book. So this is a very early appearance of Wolverine. You actually see Wolverine in this comic book before you see him in Incredible Hulk 181. Isn't that really cool? So the last comic book I ended up purchasing was a comic book that was on my wish list, very bottom of the wish list, but I've ended up finding for a really good deal. The vendor had it a slabbed copy, and I said, you know, this is pretty cool, but do you have a raw copy? And he did. So here we have a Daredevil number 16, and this book is key because this is the first Spider-Man crossover, and this is also the first time John Romita Sr. draws Spider-Man. I have Daredevil number 15, or no, I'm sorry, Daredevil number 17, the issue after this one, where they team up and fight crime together. But I didn't have this one, and I didn't read that one yet because I've been trying to try to get this one first so I can read the whole series as a whole. So this one was a fantastic deal. So I ended up getting this book and this book and this book at the same vendor. I pretty much paid $100 for this comic book, and he threw these two in for free. So really, really awesome. Was not expecting it. This book is probably about a 3.0, 3.5 maybe. The spine is a little bit beat if you want to get a zoom in on that. But the cover is attached. Everything is attached to it. I flipped through the comic books. That's one thing you guys got to pay attention to when you're at cons. If you're spending a pretty big amount of money on one comic book, make sure you guys, ask the vendor if you can take it out of the bag, or if they can take it out of the bag, so you can, examine the comic book, make sure there's nothing missing, like the Marvel value stamp, for instance. Make sure there's no pages missing. Make sure that the cover's detached, no writing and such. So, everyone is so excited at a con, and you kind of have to take it down a notch and pay attention to make sure that there's no funny business going on with comic books. So that's everything that I picked up. Yet again, let's do a little bit of a recap. We have a Daredevil number 16, first Spider-Man crossover, and first time John Romita Sr. draws Spider-Man. We have a Daredevil number 115, The Death of Deathstalker, and also a Hulk 181 insert. We have a Moon Knight number 13, the first time Moon Knight and Daredevil meets. We have a Amazing Spider-Man number 220, a very nice mint copy. We have a Spawn number 6, the first appearance of Overt Kill. A Venom number 6 signed by Mark Bagley. A Carnage Forever number 1 signed by Mark Bagley. And an Amazing Spider-Man number 410, the first appearance of Spider-Carnage signed by Bagley. So guys, that's everything that I picked up. If you guys attended Terrificon, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section your experience. What did you pick up? What was your favorite part about Terrificon and all of that? Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you want to see future content from Superpower Review, make sure you click on that subscribe button. I'm Kevin Vidinia, and I will see you guys next time.